Since today I'll read the lesson and then I'll ask you the question, right? So as I have sent you the PDF, from there you can see, right? So now I'll read the lesson number 4, the world outside. A cat called Pat, a dog called Nog, and a cow called How Brown live on a farm. They are great friends. One day Pat says, "My friends, let's go see the world." Nog nods his head. How Brown nods her head. "Come, let's go," they say. They go out of the gate. They walk a long way. They walk over mountains. They walk through streams. They walk past villages. They've come to the sea. "What a lot of water," says Pat. "True," says Nog. "I am thirsty," says How Brown. "I would like to drink some water." "Me too," says Pat. "Me too," says Nog. The friends walk to the seashore. They bend down to drink. "Yuck," says Pat. "Yuck, yuck," says Nog. "Yuck, yuck, yuck," says How Brown. "This water is salty. It tastes horrible." "Let's go back," say all three together. "The farm is much nicer." And they turned around and go back to the farm. Now I will ask you the question. What does Pat tell his friends one day? Yes, Pat tells his friends, "Let's go see the world." How long do they walk? They walk a long way. Are Pat and Nog thirsty too? Yes, Pat and Nog are thirsty too. Where do the friends walk to? The friends walk to the seashore. Why do friends say yuck yuck? The friends say yuck yuck because water is salty. Why do they go back to the farm? They go back to the farm because they thought the farm is much nicer than outside places. Now I will read lesson number 4, letter. Mr. Chitty writes a letter to his friend Mr. Money. He puts it in an envelope. He writes his friend's name on it. Then he stops. I don't know his address. He thinks, "What should I do?" "I have an idea," he says. He writes his own address on the envelope. He puts a stamp on it. He puts it in the post box. The postman brings the letter to his house the next day. "Who is Mr. Money?" he asks. Mr. Chitty says, "I know Mr. Money. He is my friend. I know where he lives. I will take this letter to him." Now who is writing a letter? Mr. Chitty is writing a letter. Now what does Mr. Chitty do? Mr. Chitty writes his friend's name on the envelope. Now when did Mr. Chitty stop? Mr. Chitty stopped because why did Mr. Chitty stop? Mr. Chitty stops because he don't know his friend's address to whom he is writing a letter. What was the idea Mr. Chitty got? He writes his own address on the envelope. Now, who brings the letter to his house the next day? The postman brings the letter to his house next day. Last, what did the postman ask to Mr. Chitti? The postman asked about Mr. Money to Mr. Chitti. So this was your reading of the story and asking question. Thank you.